What's up, guys? It's you, and welcome to a new series that I'm bringing here to the channel called the Create a Mega Project. This is something I've been theorizing in my head for a while, and I'm full of just dumb ideas, so I thought I would just put it into videos and whatnot. And I think creating Pokemon and creating Megas is really cool. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I just think it brings more creativity to the channel and to the table. So let's jump straight into what the rules are for the Create a Mega project to make sure we keep these things relatively legal. So looking at the first rule, which is, which is only 100 total points can be added to a Pokemon's base stats. And this ensures, and this is the way with every Mega Pokemon, and it just ensures that we keep things consistent. Additionally, no points can be added to a Pokemon's base HP. That is the case with all Megas, and there's no breaking of that precedent so far. 3, each Pokemon can obtain a new typing ability and different moves. And 4, no Pokemon can be broken. I have put broken in separate little brackets there because broken is a very relative term, but I'm gonna try to create things that aren't just over the top broken all the time, like crazy town talk, instantly go Ubers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the Pokemon we're gonna be giving a Mega to this week is Suicune. And looking at Suicune, it currently sits in the UU tier, possesses a great typing and just pure water, to where it has a lot of great coverage moves, such as things like Ice Beam, and it only has 2 different weaknesses, which are grass and electricity. And Suicune does have the ability Pressure, which is kind of useless for it right now, but we should be able to tweak that a little bit with the addition of a Mega Evolution. Looking at Suicune's stats, it has a great base HP in 100, an attack of 75, which is kind of useless. I guess Extreme Speed would be what Extreme Speed and Waterfall for physical attacks, but those aren't that great of moves, which is why they're not notable moves. We'll get to that in a second. Additionally, we have base 115 defenses on either side, which is excellent. We have a base 90 special attack, which isn't anything to sneeze at, but it's not anything to write home about either. Then we have a base 85 speed, which is kind of average. So Suicune's main role right now in the UU tier serves as a good defensive wall that can also potentially clean up late game with the infamous Crocoon strategy, which is essentially just Scald, Rest, Calm Mind, and Sleep Talk. And this relies on luck and trying to get Calm Mind and Scald and being able to wipe away your opponents while you have a very good defense if invested properly. So, looking at what Suicune's Mega would look like, we're going to start with the stats. Of course, it gains no base points in HP, gains 30 in attack, and I'll explain why I gave it 30 attack later. It gains 15 in both defenses, putting it up to base 130 on each side, gets base 25 special attack, and base in an increase in 15 points in speed, bringing it up to 100. So this is a Pokemon that is very, very threatening on paper. It has a base stat total of 700, but I don't think it would go Uber for a few select reasons, and I'll talk about that. The first is that it got a huge attack bonus. It's not going to use attack whatsoever, but I gave it attack in order to balance it out to make sure we didn't have base 145 defenses on each side, because that would be absolutely nuts. You can run a fast build of Suicune, but it's not really going to help you all that much because Suicune's strength is its bulk. It does retain the pure water typing, as that is a very, very good typing. I also thought that this would go OU for a couple of reasons. One, there's things like Mega Venusaur, which are super duper common in OU that pretty much shut this thing down. We also have a lot more phasing techniques in OU that can easily remove all the stats of Suicune. We have things like Quagsire floating around with Unaware. We have things like Clefable floating around with Unaware. I've seen Swaglift using a Haze Milotic, which is actually very, very good for stopping setup sweepers. That can be used against this. We have things like Vaporeon floating around, or any water absorber for that matter. And basically anything that can also hit on the physical side, because a base 130 defense when fully invested is terrifying, but you can still wear it down because its only form of reliable recovery is in the form of Rest, which is kind of shaky. However, I did my best to improve that by giving it the ability Lucid Dreaming, which is an ability that I came up with, which basically means that when Mega Suicune is resting and it uses Sleep Talk, then it ends up sleep talking anything but rest or sleep talk. So that means if you're running the infamous Crocoon set, you either get Calm Mind or Scald every single time, which is very, very good and helps out a lot. And that leads me into what its best set would probably be. Its best set would probably to retain Crocoon, max HP, max defense, put the rest of your EVs in special attack, give it a bold nature to boost up defense, and basically the plan of attack is make sure any water absorbers or unaware users are gone, which is easier said than done, and then kind of just go to town with Mega Suicune and start calm minding up, making sure that nothing can touch you, and then pretty much just rest everything off, continue to sleep talk, and with Lucid Dreaming, you'll either Calm Mind or Scald every turn, and you end up with something that's very, very hard to stop if it does get set up. So the pros for why Mega Suicune should like fit this mold is that A, it retains its original job as a Mega or as a Pokemon, but the stat boosts allow it to be OU, and that is something that I really think Suicune deserves, as it really is a solid Pokemon. Additionally, Suicune has always been known for its very high defenses and pretty good special attack, and it retains that in its Mega form. Additionally, it gets kind of a weird speed at 100, but most legendaries are base 100, and also in Gen 6 we've seen things that commonly outspeed base 100, but still, base 100 speed isn't anything to sneeze at. So things that could potentially be game-breaking about Mega Suicune is that if you want to run a fast set, then you have pretty good defenses that, like, even if they're uninvested, you're still very, very strong. But the thing that is keeping this from being the game-breaking factor is that even though Suicune has, like, Scald, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power, whatever, it doesn't really have that many coverage moves outside of that. You could run Extreme Speed, but it wouldn't be that great of an option. Additionally, some people would also say, oh, look, it has, like, base 130 defenses. That's close to Deoxys S. But the only reason Deoxys S is being talked about for Ubers is because it can set up hazards which stick around for the rest of the game, and there's no real way to shut it down. With this, there's a lot of easy ways to shut it down. You have items like Red Card, and you have things like Roar and Dragon Tail, which can easily phase Suicune out. You also have things with Unaware that completely stop Suicune in its tracks. And you also have things like Mega Venusaur, which come in and do not care about Suicune's Scalds because they Leech Seed or and Synthesis Mega Suicune to stall it out. And some people may say that Lucid Dreaming is broken. I would argue that Lucid Dreaming is not a bad ability. It's really, really good ability on Mega Suicune. But you have to invest your full set into using it. So therefore it's like, I can't really get much versatility with Lucid Dreaming. You'll know what to expect from Mega Suicune, and you'll be able to take it down. Anyway, that has been the first episode of Create a Mega Project. This took a lot of work, so if you guys did enjoy the episode, I would appreciate a like rating on the video, as it really does show me that you guys are enjoying this stuff, and it shows me you want me to bring it back next week. Additionally, make sure to answer today's comment question of the day, which is, do you guys think Mega Suicune is broken? And additionally, suggest things you want me to give Megas next time. That said, make sure to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. With that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.